Hi guys, I'm DJ Fat Tony and welcome to The Recovery. This week's episode we have the amazing Kelly Osbourne. Enjoy. So Kelly, what the show is, welcome, thank you for joining us. What the show is about is it's called The Recovery, and what I want to do with this program is to talk about people's journeys of recovery in the sense of, I want you to
My
tell us.
journey started when I was 18 years old.
Yes. So how? When?
Uh,
For me, I think, growing up watching, you are like growing up, I'm older than you, but watching the Osbournes and seeing you grow up on that show could have gone two ways. Could have gone down the big disaster track, like most kids that grew up in that environment, they end up just going to despair, like Macaulay McLachlan or whatever his name is. All of these people, they always go from that journey of like just mass destruction.
and I was on the journey. I was there.
Yeah.
I had a first class ticket. I was on that journey.
What was
And
it like for
I
you?
think it's weird because I'm 35 years old and people still treat me. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
Still treat me as if I'm 16.
Mm.
And it's because that's how they were introduced to me.
They're on that chapter. They're still, people see you on a chapter and they stay on that chapter. So that's how they always envision you. Do you know what I mean? I get it all the time from people that I used to go out clubbing with 35 years ago, still talk to me about that night they went out with me. And it's like,
And you're like, what? I don't even remember that night.
do you remember you were in the car with us? And I'm like, what? No, yeah, right. Okay, of course. What car?
Do you find though that people talk about stories and you have like no fucking recollection of it?
All the
You're sat
time.
there like, I don't remember that night. I'm glad that I don't remember that night.
All the time. And but I kind of always go, yeah, I remember. And then they ask me a
You
question.
don't.
I never remember. I couldn't, there's certain things that I obviously remember, but there's been so much gone on since that being in that car with those people. Do you get what I mean? It's kind of like it's been there's been a lot of car crashes since being in that car, and I'm not going to remember. Yeah. So what?
For me, recovery is such a personal journey, and even if you want it or you like the idea with it, and so for a long time I just played with the notion of being sober.
Yeah.
Because I liked the way people treated me when they thought I was sober.
Yeah.
But I never wanted to do the work because the work is hard. It's really, really hard and it's difficult, and you have to go really far inside yourself and admit all the things that people just never want to admit about themselves. But once you admit those things, it's freedom.
But that's the stuff that you use that we use to change those thoughts. We use to change the way we feel, and that those crutches, when you don't have those crutches and you have to look at that stuff, which, that gave us the trauma in itself, when you're actually at the point of ready to look at that stuff. The
One
change is phenomenal.
I want to make very clear, and
can you hear the pigeons?
they have more babies.
Yes, they've got babies.
Oh,
The blackbird nest is gone and it's now a wood pigeon nest.
I love it.
I know, and it's like, the babies are up there at the moment. So that's what the noise is in the background. Just for anyone who's watching, thinking, what's going on behind me? Yeah, it's the pigeon nest in the garden. Sorry, go on.
But what I was saying is that I never did drugs because I wanted to party.
No.
Became part of it later on down the line. I did drugs because I wanted all of this to just be silenced.
Yeah.
I wanted it to kill my mental pain. When I took opiates, it felt like someone giving me a warm hug, and everything that went into my head and all the things, the self-doubt, the you're too fat, you're not pretty enough, you'll never be good enough, you're talentless, you're just someone's daughter, you're a cliche, all of that just silenced. And that is why I used. It was never because I was having a good time.
No, I'm the same. My partying was partying. The drug taking certainly wasn't partying. What it did do was it numbed the anxiety. But believe it or not, I was quite an introverted child. I was quite, I went through a lot of trauma as a young age. through sexual abuse and stuff like that. So that's the reason why I became fat. And then to actually get a voice and to be someone, drink and drugs brought that out of me. They made me louder. They kind of gave me this false identity. They kind of, what I used them for, I used them to keep people away.
Yeah.
They never something like, okay, I'm doing drugs, let's all be my friend. It was like a safeguard to push people away, because it was a shield, you know. And I always used that shield, and the partying was just a natural progression. The drugs came along with that, and then for the 20 odd years of that drug use, the first 8 years were fun. The other years were survival. They really were, of every kind.
A coping mechanism, and that you don't realize that it has gone hand in hand with each other, that the thing that you think is helping you survive is the thing that's actually killing you.
100%.
And I was so scared of myself and didn't know so I first got sober when I tried to get sober when I was 19, and I went to rehab because I got caught buying drugs by a paparazzi, and instead of selling that picture to the press, he hid the pictures of the actual drugs that I bought, because if anyone saw that, I'd probably be in jail.
Yeah.
And he sent the picture to my mom, and my mom saw it, and within, I want to say, about 2 hours of it being seen, I was put in the back of a van and driven off to my first rehab. And detox and everything was one of the worst things I had ever been through in my life. I had never been so sick. I had didn't realize how physically dependent my body had become to what I was doing. And it scared me. It really scared me, but not enough to stay sober.
Why do you think he did that? He was trying to save your life?
My parents were trying anything they could, but I was over the age of 18. There wasn't a lot that they could do, and I knew that. And I manipulated the system, and I lied, and I wasn't a good person, but I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
That's the magic word.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. I wanted to be, and I wanted to be good, and I knew that what I was doing was bad, but I just couldn't stop myself. Couldn't stop myself, because I didn't know how to exist as just being me, because I didn't like myself.
Well, Kelly was never enough, right? It's like Tony was never enough.
Yeah, I was never enough. And I just kept sitting there being like, and believing all the mean things that people said about me, and then feeding into the headlines and feeding into the public perception of myself. And I thought, well, if they think I'm that, then I'm just going to be it. And that's just not who I was. No.
And did you, at that point when you went away and you got clean, but wasn't ready, how long did you stay sober for? Was there a clean time, or wasn't a clean time?
There was about 30 days of clean time, because I was in treatment for 28 days. I got out 2 days later, I was high again.
Yeah.
But I lied about it, and the lying about staying sober is what also took me out.
Worst.
I can't live with a lie. I have learned that now. That lying is what takes me out. Completely takes me out.
I used to pretend to get clean all the time, because
I would steal 60-day chips from other people, to my mom, and say I had got 60 days, and my mom was like, take me out for dinner.
My friend Bruce used to give me his key rings. I did the same. I used to go, look, I wasn't 30 days at all, gurning my face off saying I was 30 days. But when I got
that 60-day chip for the first time, and I was really sober, I had never, ever been more proud of myself in my life, because it was real. And I had worked my ass off, and I couldn't believe that for 60 whole consecutive days,
amazing.
I did not pick up. I did not do anything. And I was learning to sit in my feelings.
Couldn't get 60 hours, let alone 60 days.
It's be here now. And it's just learning to be in that moment, here in that moment, now in that moment, and not future trip, and not think that I'm a failure, and not think that people are out to get me, and just sit in that moment. And learning to do that is what helped me stay sober.
Yeah. And how sober are you now?
I am 2.5 years, almost 3 years, and I can't fucking believe
it's so incredible. And, you know,
like I say this with like the biggest smile on my face, because I never thought I would be this girl. I never thought I'd be sat here. I never even thought I'd be alive at 35 years old. All of my friends, a lot of my friends didn't make it. And burying them and watching them die and sitting here, I had survivor's guilt for a really, really, really long time. And I didn't know that that's what it was.
Yeah. I had that. I had exactly the same thing, you know, and I looked at it as different things. I always, you know, it always come back to, why am I still here? I don't get it. Do you know what I mean? And I remember when I was 27 and I was about to turn 28, and my mum was like, why? And I was crying to my mum because I didn't want to be 28. She was like, why? And I was like, because I wanted to die at 27. And I mean, you know, my mum was like, you know, 27 is the most amazing age. And I was like, that's why I wanted to die at 27, because I could not see a life beyond that. I was so far gone in, so far lost in addiction at 27. I didn't get clean till I was 41. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, from 28 onwards,
Do you remember all of the wasted years?
You know what? People always ask me, do you regret it? And I don't regret anything, because that those years made me who I am today, and have made me, they paved the way to greater things. You know, I had, you know, like anything in life for me as an addict, it has to get really, really painful for there to be a change. It has to go to that thin line of life or death for there to be change. It has to go to the most painfulest places before I actually wake up and think, oh, what am I doing? Do you know what I mean? And today it's kind of, it doesn't get better.
Do you still find yourself sometimes bringing that chaos back into your life because for some reason your head tells you that that's where you're comfortable?
100%.
I do it all the time and I'm like, wait, what am I doing? Why am I trying to do this?
When I get tired, always. Tiredness is a big one for me. It's a big trigger. I don't think, oh, I need a drink or a drug. What I need is drama and I need chaos. So when I'm tired, I will start to cause drama.
Hungry, angry, lonely, and tired.
Totally,
one of those.
Yeah. Well, I like to what is it? Needy, seedy, and greedy. That's what my friend said when he first came into treatment, to recovery. He's like, yeah, I used to be needy, seedy, and greedy. And I was like, yeah, I can really relate to that. I've been all of those things. I'm still needy, and I always will be needy. I think I don't think that's a part of being an addict. I think that's just human nature. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Do you battle today with like working out what's addict behavior and what's Kelly behavior?
Oh my God, all the time.
Yeah.
I sit here and I'm like, wait, is this my ism speaking or is it me? And for the first year of sobriety, I just made everything was the ism because it was the only way I can understand it.
Yeah.
So that is the ism, that's the ism. The second year, I started to see, no, that's me. It's not my ism. That's actually who I am, because you learn. It's like you come to the rooms to learn who you are and grow up in front of people because you spent so much time being in your addiction. And I believe that your mental understanding and ability and maturity like pauses from the day you start your addiction.
Oh, 100%.
That way you get left. So when you stop, you've got all those years of maturing and catching up, and you do that in the rooms.
It's like being locked in a jam jar and you just walk around and around and around, and it stays the same. Everything stays at that age. For me, it was like 16. So, you know, my mentality always stayed at 16. So that's why I find things like most 16-year-old kids find funny, I still find funny. You know what I mean? That's why I you know, at 54 this year, I still laugh at the most stupidest things because I'm still a kid. My life froze at that point, and the most magical words that people could say in recovery is, I have learned.
Yeah.
And you know, at 13 and a half years, which I am now, I learn every day. I learn more about myself, more about my behaviors, more about the way I treat other people. You know, it's a learning thing. And, you know, and I never stop learning. The day that you stop learning is the day that you're completely and utterly fucked.
Yeah. I agree with you. And what I love so much now is when people come up to me, and even yesterday, they were saying, my parents just looked at me and they were like, you are so different. It's like night and day. The Kelly you are today versus what you were this time 2.5 years ago is a completely different person.
You know, it's true. I mean, you know, Kelly, I'm so proud to actually call you a friend, in the sense that I love you so much. And what I love about you is that you wear your recovery on your sleeve. You wear it, you shine from recovery. I'm
proud of it. It's the most important thing. It's going to make me cry in the world to me.
It so is, isn't it?
Like, I have worked so hard for this. Like, people, you have to be one of us to understand. It is hard. It is a lot of work, but now I love the work. I love learning more about myself. I want to break down more of the walls. I want to push through, and I want to be the best me I can be. I was so frightened to be myself before. Because
if you had to go back and you had to tell Kelly from the Osbournes something that would relate to her life now, what to be and not what to do, what would it be?
Don't listen to what they're saying about you, because that's not who you are. I listened to it. I fed into it.
It's really weird, because I got asked that question the other day, and do you know what my answer was?
What?
Shut the fuck up and listen.
I said that. I swear to God, it would shut the fuck up and listen. It was almost that, but then I was like,
PC.
Yeah. I always said that. It's true though, because you just sit there and your head tells you all of these things that just aren't true.
Honestly, you know, I suffer with imposter syndrome, and I really suffer with it when my addict's on me, or when I'm like, you know, vulnerable. It comes on, everyone's going to hate you. No one wants to listen to you. You're old, you're tired. Oh, it all seeps in. And, you know, I have to hand this stuff over. I have to like think, like, okay, this isn't real. This is it. You know, so I'm very proud of the fact that I will pray in the back of a taxi to my higher power, to a God of my understanding. So it's verbalize it. It's not about God. It's not about him. It's about verbalizing it. It's about making it unreal. If it stays in here, it becomes so. I will think it's real. The more I get it out and take the power out of it, it depletes it. And I think, okay, you know, God, these people who flying you on an aeroplane to go and play music, they don't think you're an imposter. So why do you? You know, have those moments. And you know, people kind of like, they don't get that when you talk to them. They think that you're like, they see you on Instagram, they see you doing this, they see you doing that, and they think that you're a really strong person. They don't understand, you know, it's like how much makeup has to go on to make me look like this. Do you get what I mean? Or to feel like this, in the sense of, you know, when I say makeup, I mean how many layers of false front. You know, I try to be as honest as I can be today. I think honesty is the biggest key to this.
But you and I are the same. Like, we'll do something and our old behavior kicks in, and it's the first thing that will come out of our mouths. And then about 5 to 10 seconds go by, and we both look at each other and be like, actually, I'm lying. It's this.
Yeah, exactly.
Both do that. And it's because, and that's stuff that I'm like, okay, I'm proud of that. Because even though I did try and fib in the beginning, I corrected myself. And I'm not living in that, like, oh my God, what if I get caught lying?
Yeah, totally. I mean, you know, lying is what keeps us ill. And, you know, I'm really blessed that I'm in a position today, through recovery, I don't have to lie. I don't have to lie. The biggest lie that I say to people is when people ask me how you are, and I'm like, oh, I'm okay. And that's just like, you know, on days.
I argue with myself all the time over that, because I'm like, I don't want to tell this person the truth. So I'm just going to say, I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
Yeah.
Because it's just like, A, it's not their business, and B, like, probably not the best way to start this meeting or conversation or whatever it may be. But I agree with you, that I do the same thing.
Oh, it's terrible. It's, you know, how are you? Oh, I'm okay, I'm really good. It's like, you know what? I'm not really good.
The only place I ever 100% of the time tell the truth with that is when I'm in the rooms.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we're in a safe zone where people understand us.
Yeah. I kind of, you know, people always like, I get so many phone calls and so many messages a week where people are asking how to get clean and stay clean, and what, you know, how is it to you? And you know, and I kind of always have to say to people, just try NA or AA. And people just like literally straight away, oh, I'm not that bad. And it's like, what do you want to leave it to? The very last moment? You know, it's a gift. The rooms are just incredible. People think there's a real stigma attached with going to.
I used to believe that it was a cult. and that they were the enemy, and that and don't you love it when you run into somebody who you know is meant to be sober?
Totally, yeah.
And they come up to you and they start being really mean to you, and you're like, wait, I don't care what you're doing, but if you need help, you know, you can call me, but like, that's your journey, I'm not judging you. Like,
totally, 100%. And
like, in LA, a lot of people are what do they call it, Hollywood sober, which
okay,
is
what's Hollywood sober?
beer and wine and weed. They don't do the harder stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Smart, that sounds like smart recovery to me.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
That's another one that people use as an excuse.
And there was this one girl who, I also have to admit that I was that asshole girl that like put all their friends in rehab and told them that they all had a problem, but I was secretly doing all the same shit.
Hence why I have hypocrite written on my hand.
Like, I did all of that, and they all still make fun of me now, and I'm like, you know, I got to take it because I did do it, and that is very funny.
Yeah, I think the good one is as well when people, they open up to you in recovery and they're like, oh, you know, I've got this problem, and the first thing people say is, especially if it's come to you about advice around sex addiction or other, you know, their behaviors, certain people that you will say to, and they're going, you need to go to SLA, which is, for people that don't know what SLA is, it's sex and love addicts addiction.
I don't know anything about that group.
No, but people straight away, but what I'm saying to you is people just, certain people just don't know how to deal with stuff. So they'll send you to the nearest place. Like, your friends will come to you with a drink problem. Oh, you need to go to rehab, because it's the reflection of what you're doing. So you kind of just push them as far away as possible into treatment centers, so you don't have to deal with it, so that you don't get found out.
Yeah, exactly what I did. It's exactly what I did. It's like you shine a spotlight on someone else so you can do whatever you're doing in the shadows. And it is a horrible, horrible personality trait that I had. And it's
my
one
dad
of the
was the same.
that I get to wake up and be free of, because I know that I'm not that person. All the things that I said and I did, and the people that I hurt, that I know I will spend the rest of my life fixing those bridges that I burned. But I want to do that, and I say bring it on, because it's nice to go back and fix the things that you broke.
It really is. You know, saying sorry is never enough. It's about making amends. It's about, and amends means to fix. And it, you know, it's incredible. It's really, really incredible. You know, the journey of recovery in so many ways, because, you know, we're not only recovering from drink and drugs, we're recovering from our behaviors, we're recovering from trauma, we're recovering for so many different things in our life.
I'll be fully open with all of it. Like, I have eating issues, I have drug issues, I have anxiety, I have depression. I live with these things every single day. I know that I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
And that is what keeps me going. And I know that if I can share my story with someone, and if it helps one person, then I know that what I went through was worth it.
100%. You know, that's why
I know that it was worth it. That if I can give this gift to someone else, it is hard, it is miserable, it is not a fun journey, but it is an amazing journey.
Totally.
And it's exciting. You get to learn so much.
People say to me all the time, you know, oh, you're too honest, you tell everyone everything. I'm honest because I know that somewhere out there that's going to get through to somebody that really needs to hear it. And I'm just so obvious. I lived my life under a stone for 28 years. I'm not under a stone anymore. So I'm very proud, and I wear that addict badge on my sleeve and let people know that stuff. You know, sometimes I kind of think, oh, I'd like to talk about other things, but you know what? This is the bridge to talk to other things. It's my platform. It's where I'm at, you know, and I'm very honoured. You know, that little film that I did with Mixmag has had like over 3 million views now.
Because it's so moving, and you are so honest and vulnerable, but at the same time, you show that you can come out of anything. Like Tony.
But look at you. This is exactly like you. You know, you've come from such a place of trauma. Everybody saw you grow up. Everybody saw the Osbournes. Everybody see Kelly become Kelly. And that wasn't really Kelly. And now you look stunning. You're beautiful. You're achieving so many amazing things in your life. And that's all down to one thing, and that's the recovery. The recovery. And the
last year of recovery for me was all about the mind.
Yeah.
So I was fixing the broken things inside my head that I needed to work on. You know, I went to therapy. I don't think I've ever really told anybody this. I went to therapy every single day for the first 6 months for about 6 hours a day.
Wow.
And I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. I moved out of LA. I went into a sober living house for 3 months. I didn't go to rehab because I've been to rehab.
But that was rehab. What you just, that kind of treatment, and that's treatment. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's treatment, darling.
So I was in one-on-one for a full year. And then I started to lighten things up and go, instead of going every day, it was 3 times a week. And then it went twice a week. And then it was once a week. And I did that solidly for the first 2 years. And that really helped. So the first year was the mind. But I gained a lot of weight when I first got sober, like a lot of weight. And it's because I was emotionally replacing drugs with food.
I did the same. It's a recovery belly. Most people that go to treatment always put on weight.
A lot of people, depending on what you're coming off of, your body craves sugar. And mine was just like, it went into overdrive. And because I had denied my body proper nourishment for so long, my body went into a form of starvation mode, that no matter what I ate, it stored it as fat, because it's like it didn't know when it was going to get food again, because I never ever ate. I hardly ever ate before because I was always drunk. And so I gained a lot of weight, and it made me very unhappy. So then the second year of my sobriety, I worked on my body, and now I've got that where I want it. And now I'm working on my soul, what makes me truly happy. And it's a full overdrive. And to be honest with you, in the beginning, I was like, this is going to take forever. And now, 3 years later, I look back and I think, I cannot believe how much I have done in 3 years. This is nuts. And how quickly the time has flown by. And my brother always said to me, my brother has 17, 18 years sober.
Yeah.
And he said to me, you will see how quickly time goes by now.
Yeah.
And he was so right. Like, I'm like, wait, what? Like, I'm almost 3 years into this. Time went by so slowly before, because I never truly slept. It was like you passed out from whatever it was you took too much of or drank too much of, and then you would come to. I never woke up. I came to.
Yeah.
And I was in this haze of hangovers and withdrawals and ODs and all of that just kind of, I don't, for how a 5'2", I may be a bit round, but I'm a small human. I don't know how I did it to my body for as long as I did, and fucking like pretty much embalmed myself. And now I think, and all this stuff, like in the road to getting healthy, little things like I could never drink juice before because I was a bit of a fruitophobe, and I don't know why. And then I thought to myself, if I can pour that poison down my throat every single day and drink it like it was water and I was dying of thirst, then I can drink this juice. Yeah. And so now little things about being healthy that I told myself, oh, that's gross, now I really enjoy.
Drinking water. Like drinking water.
Like water.
Hello, what the fuck? I never drank water for like 9 years, and that's a fact. I used to drink Jack Daniels and Coke, and I used to think that it said on the bottle made with distilled spring water. So that for me was water, the water in Jack Daniels. And I would actually make myself vomit after being out for 3 days, and it would be brown. And that would be like the syrup that they used with Coca-Cola. It was insane. But I never drank water for 9 years. It's insane. And today, I still struggle with it. I have to remind myself to do it. Like I said last night at dinner to David, my partner, I've not drank any water for 2 days. And it's kind of, I have to remind myself to drink water. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's behaviors. Just simple little things like that. That just, it's mad. And that's at 13 and a half years. But, everything else could be like amazing. But I forget the little principles of things, of change. Do you know what I mean? Because, I think that your recovery is shining right now. You have become who you should be, Kelly. And, I love you so much.
It's been...
All our friends love you, in the sense that, you say, oh, I'm doing this with Kelly. And they're like, oh my God, send Kelly my love. I love Kelly, And you really come into yourself in the sense of everything.
Like, I went from being the girl that they were like, oh my God, she's going to ruin it if she's there. Like, don't bring her. She's going to start a fight with someone.
Yeah.
be too drunk. She's going to be too wasted. It's not going to be fun. To the girl that everyone's like, we're not going if Kelly's not going.
Yeah,
and that shift alone that's the magic of recovery, when you get to come into your own. But I never want to be that person that sits here and says, recovery is amazing, because some days it's fucking not. And it's miserable. And you sit here, I'm like white knuckling a chair being like, I just want to get high right now because I want this pain to stop.
You want to change, you want to fix, you want a quick fix to change the way we feel. You know, today I use sugar to do that. I will eat chocolate or I will spike on Coca-Cola. And then when I do that, I realize later on when I'm on a sugar crash, like a sugar crash, and I want to fight the world, it's because I fixed on sugar. Do you know what I mean? That's as far as it goes today. I don't drink coffee for that reason. If I drink coffee, it makes me feel like I've been freebasing cocaine. My chest caves in.
So, like, I had a cup of coffee this morning. I keep getting like heart. I'm like, fuck, I can't have this again. It's too much.
What the hell is that about? One kind of Red Bull, I need to go in an ambulance. I mean, you know, I could stay up for 7 days. You know, it's ridiculous. But, you know, it's like, I'm really glad that I don't have that in my life. I'm really glad that I don't have those crutches. And it's, you know, the sugar I can deal with. It's always an onward battle. But, you know, I will conquer it like I conquer most things. Do you know what I mean? It's about when I'm ready.
It's when you're ready. You have to be ready. Yeah. And I remember when I picked up that phone to be like, I'm ready, I had an awful experience where I thought that somebody who was my best friend wasn't, and he did something horrible to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I welcomed this into my life. I let this happen because I'm so wasted all the time. I haven't been to a grocery store in probably 3 years, or not done normal people things in years. I don't want to live like this anymore. I can't do this. I know what time my neighbors are coming in and what they're doing because I never leave this apartment. And I've put blackout curtains so I don't even know if the sun is out or what day it is. I can't do this anymore because I'm going to kill myself. I'll be dead. I'm not going to make it if I keep doing this. And I picked up the phone and I called my brother, and I was really drunk when I called him. Mm-hmm. And I said to him, because I remember he sent me a text like 2 months prior to me calling him, being like, hey, I just want to let you know that I love you very much. And it hurts me to see what you're doing to yourself. When you're ready, I'm here. Mm. And I remember getting that text being like, go fuck yourself. Who do you think you are? You think you've got it all sorted out. And just because you're sober, you don't know my pain. You don't know my struggles. You don't know how it is for me. And I wrote back to him, fuck off. I think you cunt, or something like that. Horrible. Yeah. And stopped talking to him. But then I remembered the text, and it kept spinning in my head. And I'm like, he's right, you know, he's right, you know, he's right, you know, all of this stuff, even though some of it's not my fault, is my fault.
Planting the seeds.
Yeah. And so I picked up the phone to him, and I said, because I call my brother Wacky, and I'm like, Wacky, can you come get me? I want to get sober. And he was just like, I'll be there in 2 minutes. And he came. I don't even think I had a full outfit on, because I just remember being in his car in a t-shirt and my underwear and crying. And I remember what I said to him. I said to him, I don't want to be a fat, drunk loser anymore. I want to be a skinny winner. And every time my brother and I have a conversation, if I'm having a bad day, he'll look at me and he'll go, skinny winner.
Amazing.
And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And I get back on track again, because I now laugh at all that stuff. But I remember I was sat there, I was out of my mind. I had taken so much like speed, and because I was too high, then I would take some benzos, and on top of that,
roller coaster.
Weed. So I was constantly speedballing and going up and down all the time. And I didn't know what it felt like just to be normal. Just to be at peace.
Isn't it amazing just to be in the moment? Do you know, like literally.
Now, before it was a nightmare, and now I love it. So like I wake up every day, and I had this moment where I was talking to my sponsor, and I started to cry, and I was like, I finally know how I feel. And she goes, how do you feel? And I said, I know what it feels like to be happy. I never knew what that felt like before. And I was like, oh my God, I'm actually happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and that
because I found contentment.
That's the freedom of recovery. You know, people have been going on about, oh my God, it's lockdown, we can't go out, we can't do this, we can't do that. For me,
I prefer preparing myself for lockdown. My whole life I've been isolating, so
Amen.
I'm like,
Amen.
handle it.
I can handle this.
So I don't get stuck in here too much, and then I'm good.
You know that. It's exactly that. You know, it's
Oh, look. You haven't met.
no.
Oh. I rescued her at the beginning of lockdown. I was only meant to foster her, but then I failed, and I adopted her because she's my little baby.
Amazing. And how is she getting on with it with the weird cat and the lovely little dog?
Okay, so Meow Meow and her play all day long. Polly now doesn't want anything to do with Meow Meow, and so
because Meow Meow snided off with the other dog.
Yeah. Meow's like, you're yesterday's news, Polly.
Yeah, you know that.
But now I'm quarantining with my mom and dad. It's been a lot more fun because being on my own for over 2 months started to get a little bit like monotonous, and I just need to be around people. So I had to get tested, and then I came here, and I've been.
Yeah, I've been blessed. I've had David with me the whole time. And
what have you been cooking? Because I know he's been cooking some feasts.
You know what? He's been amazing recently. He's just like been making the most amazing healthy food. You know, so we've had like this week we've had haddock and what we had. We've had parsnip and smoked fish cakes. We've had fish tacos. We've had chow mein. Oh, he's just been really. Tonight he's making pineapple crumble, which is a healthy version, and lobster tonight. We're on the lockdown budget. I'm having lobster and triple fried chips and pineapple crumble. Yeah, it's all good. You know what? David's been amazing. He's a brilliant cook, and you know, one thing that's come from
your street is, I guarantee your street, the community, because you live in a wonderful community. I love all your neighbors.
Yeah.
I've been friends with all your neighbors. It's just I love your street.
We had his VE day, and we had a street party 2 weeks ago on the Saturday, on the bank holiday Friday, and it was a social distancing street party. I DJ'd in the street. We had singers. We had a pianist who was 91 that used to play with Vera Lynn, playing from his window.
No way!
Insane.
Which part of the road was that?
To our left, up the top. So he's 91. He lives on the top floor. He was Vera Lynn's tour. He was on tour with Vera Lynn for 6 years. Played all the way through the war stuff, and he was playing We'll Meet Again, and a woman was singing from the window.
Oh my God, I would have cried.
It was insane.
I would have cried.
And David went by on an electric scooter with smoke canisters coming off like the red.
No, the ones from Gay Pride that they took away from us.
Yes, those.
Oh, wait, at least we finally got to use them.
Down the street on that, and the whole place erupted.
Wait, can we just discuss how the fuck did he fall out of that tree? How did David fall out of a tree?
Oh. Well, that tree in question is that tree there. It's like this massive tree there, see it? So these branches that overlap our garden drop dirt on our garden all the time, and I hate them. They block out our sun. So I said to David, I really want...
You had something to do with it.
I knew
you had something
So I said, I want a tree surgeon to come and cut them down. And of course, David was like, I'll do it. And climbed up the bloody tree and then fell out. And then he came back all cut and bruised. I said, I told you not to go up the tree, which means I really did want you to do it. But it's coming down on Monday. It's not a dangerous tree. It's not like an endangered species tree. It's an ash tree. It's actually grown from a weed. So yeah, we're going to chop a lot of the branches off. We've got specialists coming.
That would be good.
David. Not David.
Is there any more drama on the street?
No, actually, the guy that tried to kill me is in prison. He's in prison. So other than that, the street today, he's in prison. So,
oh my God! What about the one with the paint bucket? Is that the same one?
The one down this end. This guy, he tried to attack me and called me and David. He said that me and David were murderers and chopped some woman up and put her in the bin.
Well, he's always screaming, and he's got.
Well, he's not anymore. He's in prison. He's been in prison for some months.
What about the paint bucket one?
Oh, he's gone, and this young couple have moved in with a baby. They're lovely.
And the lovely lady who lives underneath.
They're all out on the street today. They because all the bars and pubs are shut. They've all opened their own bar on the street, with tables and chairs, all drinking. It's like social distancing.
I want to be in Pimlico.
Pimlico's amazing. It really is. It's just like the whole community has really come together throughout this time. And
that's what it's like where I live, and I love it. Like I've become best friends with my neighbor.
Yeah.
Like we talk like all day long. Is the one person that I talk to, because we talk over the fence to each other. She's in her garden, I'm in mine, and it's just like we've become like, if she needs something, I get it for her. If I need something, they get it for me, and they're just like the nicest people. Like, I ran out of toilet paper, and they made me this whole display of toilet paper and turned it into a shape of a bunny rabbit and gave it to me for Easter, and it was my favorite Easter present.
But do you think they would have done that to you if you were using?
Fuck no.
They wouldn't even get you out.
I probably would have been evicted.
You know that. Everywhere I lived when I was using it, I was evicted after 6 months. You know, and that's the joys of recovery. The fact that you get excited by a toilet paper bunny, and I get excited by my mental neighbours. You know, that's recovery. That's where we're at. It's an amazing feeling to just have that respect. And that you said that, you know, you're best friends with them. The only reason you can be best friends with your neighbours now is because you're best friends with yourself.
And it's also like, I was about to start a company, and normally I would have gone into it and dove in head first. And what I realized is, one of the people I was going to be starting it with, him and it's going to ruin our friendship if we do this, because I think one way and he thinks another. And normally I would have entered into that chaos, but I'm wise enough now to see that it would destroy everything if I did that. So I have removed myself, and it's a lot of drama, but I didn't have the self-confidence to stand up for myself before. So I would have entered into it because I was scared that I was going to upset somebody.
Yeah.
You know, people pleasing is a huge thing that happens when you're an addict. Wow. And hoarding. How much did you have to get rid of once you got sober? I'm still getting rid of it 2.5 years later. Like, I can't believe the stuff that I thought I needed to keep me safe and sane. Like, I'm like, why do I have this?
I have lockups full of that stuff. And, you know, what we're going to do is, you know, even, in 13.5 years, I still do that. I still buy stuff. I still say yes to things that I don't need. And it arrives and I'm like, where are we going to put this? And it goes straight to storage. But what we are going to do with it all is just going to do one big sale when we can. And it's all going to go to charity. It's all going to go to, you know, the children.
The same thing I'm doing. I'm not even doing a sale. I'm just donating everything, and they can sell it to what they want and with it that way, and say that it was mine. And I've given, the other day I was something like 17 boxes went to. Well,
I saw when you moved, I saw it was like the storeroom at IKEA. There were so many boxes. It was like, I'm saying.
But I went through all of them, and afterwards I felt so good. It was, I'm not joking.
Dated, weren't they, as well? Like,
yeah, from when I was 13, there was a box. From when I was 13, and I went through it, and it was like hints and stickers, and which I said to my friend because we couldn't believe that I had it, and like weird Polaroid pictures of people I couldn't even remember their names. And then I had but then I found some stuff that I was like, shit, I can't believe I have that. Who bought me that?
But yeah, I want that. I don't want to throw that away. I'm keeping that. Yeah, hello.
Oh no, I'm keeping that. Like, I found like Hermes bags and like old Christian Dior jewelry and stuff that I was like, wait, how do I even have this? But great, cool.
Like, David had come out with something on, and I'm like, where'd you get that from? He's like, it's yours. I'm like, I really want that. I really love it. And it's like, where to wear it. I do it all the time. It's like, David's like, I'm not taking it off. I'm like, just let me wear it. It's like, it's mine. It's just, I haven't looked at it for 4 years. Do you know what I mean? It's insane.
When you were high, go shopping, buy yourself stuff, and then the next day be like, where did that come from?
Yeah, all the time.
I did it all the time. And then I'd be like, someone got me a gift. I've got to figure out who it was so I can thank them.
Yeah.
And then months would go by, and then I'd put my hand in a pocket and find the receipt. And I'm like, I bought me that. I don't remember doing that, but okay. That's great.
The worst one for me was I'd have these big birthday parties, and people would bring presents, and I would leave them in cabs. I left all my, like a whole cab drove off with all my birthday presents, and I was like devastated the next day. I didn't realise till the next morning. I was like, where's all my presents? Fuck, we left him in the cab. It was like, you know, what the hell is that about? You know, it's insane.
All things like that you've done, and you're like, oh, why? But it does make you who you are. Those are it allows me to have.
I would be.
and not take things so seriously, because you know that you're just like,
Kelly, I would be like a multi-millionaire if I had half the things I threw away or forgot about. The shoes and the jackets that Keith Haring painted for me. All the time I would come home with one shoe on. I remember the last night Paradise Garage, I left with one shoe on, and I had these sneakers that Keith had painted for me. And I just threw one away and just like, it was like, didn't even know where it went. And like, you know, if I had that stuff today, it would be worth millions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's the insanity.
It's, you know, we could sit here forever talking about that stuff, because it's just, there's so many examples of it. But like, even the you that I met when I first met you, you'd been sober what, like
13 and a half years.
Yeah, but no, when I first met you, it was like
when
we first got reintroduced to each other. So, because we had met not sober.
Yeah, of course.
But I think it was like Mahiki or something like that.
One of those really nice places,
Yeah, and I remember I was really scared of you, but then I met you and I realized that we were very similar. And you instantly became one of my best friends and one of my go-tos in this journey of recovery. And it's like, I know that no matter what time of day it is, if I need someone to talk to get myself out of my head, you will pick up the phone and you will tell me the truth. And that is so important in recovery. And that is like, when you find your people, they always say like, you need to find your people, because you're not for everyone. Not everyone is going to like everyone. And just because you're both sober doesn't mean you're going to like each other. And it took me a minute to find my people. And now I have these people that I know that they're going to be with me for the rest of my life.
And I think what the most important thing is the fact that we don't have to try and make people like us. They like us for who we are.
Exactly.
Or what we can get from them, or what we got to give them. You know, today it's about people like us for who we are, and that's a beautiful thing. It really is a beautiful thing.
And if they don't like me, they don't like me for who I really am, and that's what I like too.
100%. I think we've summed up recovery with Kelly today, and I love you. I adore you. I'm so proud of you. You're one of the people that make my hair stand on end on my arms when I look at you and talk to you. I have such a great love for you, Kelly, because you really have found the recovery and you really work it and shine. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and I miss you so much.
Hi guys, if you want to know more about recovery, fashion, music, me, the world of Fat Tony, subscribe down below.